Yeah, it's been a good week back for the guys. I think everyone's excited to be back, and obviously, our run of form isn't the best right now, and obviously we're trying to get more intensity in training, be more together. We got a few changes tactically, and I think Chris is definitely looking to put the team on the front foot. So I think it's been a good week so far. I think a lot of players are going to get the chance to step up, so I'm really excited for this weekend.
So when you have long breaks like this, kind of what does it do for you physically, mentally, kind of going into this second half of the MLS season?
Yeah, I think it was important we had that time off. You're just thinking soccer, soccer, soccer. It's nice to get that break and get a perspective on things. So I think everyone's going to come back recharged, on the front foot, fast-paced game. I think everyone's ready. So, yeah.
Reggie, how was Kauai?
Dude, it was amazing. It wasn't a much relaxing vacation because we were driving everywhere up at like 5 a.m., just seeing all the amazing beaches, tasting the amazing food, the little coffee shops. It was really like eye-opening. It's so beautiful there, and I didn't want to leave, when we were coming back. But honestly, it was just such a much-needed vacation.
And then LA Galaxy on Wednesday, a team down in the standings, but with a roster that's built in the same style of some teams you've struggled with recently. You particularly as a fullback, how are you going to shore up the defense for those wingers on counters?
Yeah, we had a meeting about this morning. The wingers are obviously very dangerous players. They're roster formation is one of big money, big numbers, big players. So, I think it's time for players to step up. And, we played against Galaxy before, obviously, and they obviously have such a talented roster. So it's going to take a collective effort from everybody. It's going to take a lot of 1v1 duels and obviously a lot of backup from guys when they're not there. So I think, the team's ready. We're obviously excited for these challenges. Me, personally, as a fullback, I always love playing against players like Painsel and, Peck. They're obviously very good players, and, it's always a challenge. So I always look forward to it, and I know the team is as well.
And then in your current iterations, if you were going to pick a Pokemon for the Rapids and the Galaxy as the avatars in this matchup Wednesday, what would they
be? So my favorite legendary say was Rayquaza. So I put us as Rayquaza, however you want to pronounce it. I know nerds see it, they're going to correct me. And I put them like a Zubat or something. I give them like a Zubat or a Geodude or something you see in caves. That would be my Pokemon matchup. So it's really 99-1 there. So that'd be my matchup.
And what about the trainers for the coaches?
The trainers. Chris would be red. Chris would be red for sure. The GOAT, the one you always feared. And I think the LA Galaxy coach. I think he'd be Ash. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm saying the comparisons from red and Ash, like. I think there's a big difference and a bit.
Clear that up.
Yeah, you gotta just clear the gap thereof. So I think those would be the two. Yeah.
And then a player that's not yourself on the Rapids to look out for performance-wise Wednesday.
I would definitely say Ted. He's been gaining a lot of confidence, gaining a lot of speed in the play. So he's been, one of our most dangerous players. So I'm really looking forward to playing with him again. So I think he's going to be a key player in this matchup. So I'm really excited.
And then kind of rounding out this little homestand, kind of what is it, the importance for you guys to end this homestand on the front foot and kind of get the bad taste out of your mouth from the past few results?
Yeah, I definitely think it's really important. Like, we definitely need to get on the right foot. And this team is very momentum-based. We got to establish some consistency. So, we're obviously looking to get that first win, and when we do, I know the floodgates are going to open. So we just need to get on the front foot, put the team in a fast game, and I know everything will happen from there.